Hey, what's going on, gang? Good afternoon. Hi there. Today's the big day. What's up? High fives, all that. My name's Alan Cox. Thanks for being here. Say hi to Bill Squire. He's right over there.
Hey, grippy hugs.
Mary Santora is here, too.
Hello.
On a Friday. The Bill Squire Friday Get Down, of course, later on in the show will...
Yeah, we have so much stuff going on. I forgot about that amazing part of the day.
That will ease us. What I can't think of a finer way to tie a bow on another week of broadcasting, fair to Midland broadcasting, than with the Bill Squire Friday Get Down later on. Poundcake's back in Studio G.
Afternoon, white people.
He's going to be my roving reporter out there in front. We got the wireless microphone all set up because in about 90 minutes, we're going to have people at this window. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know how many people. I've heard from a number of people. I don't know what it's going to look like.
Oh, it's going to be a lot.
But we've got Taylor Swift tickets for tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. She plays there Gesundheit.
Thank you.
She plays there tonight at Acrisure Stadium and tomorrow night. As well. And it's Father's Day weekend, and dads had been hitting me up a couple of weeks ago once I mentioned that we were going to have tickets and we'd figure out a way to give them away. And so there are going to be dads dressed in their best Taylor Swift get up here at the window and performing, and Gwen's showing up, and my daughter will be the judge. So we'll do that a little bit later on, but Poundcake will be out there talking to people. They'll have us on the speakers out there in Euclid so people will be able to hear. And somebody will get a pair of tickets. Now, again, as I've said, and I'll repeat myself, there's nothing, sure, there were a lot of dads hitting me up, hey, I'd like to take my daughters, whatever. There's nothing keeping you from turning right around and selling those tickets because they're the equivalent of Super Bowl tickets, something like this. This Taylor Swift tour sold out, right? It's the Erase tour. Am I pronouncing that correctly? I've seen all the merch.
Erase.
And she erased the final E. Eras tour, I'm sorry. And so we'll see how this all shakes out in a little while. I don't know, but Poundcake will be out there. And I think he's the best point person to have talking to people, right? He's affable. People enjoy talking to him. Nobody's ever in a bad mood after they have a conversation with Poundcake. And so he'll be out there. He begged me, quite frankly, to be out there. Mm-hmm. He said, please get me out of my little corner back where everybody farts by the lockers. Is there still locker area farting going on, by the way?
I think I shamed someone into not doing it anymore. So I haven't heard.
You think word got around that I was calling people out anonymously?
Probably. I mean, they have us on out in the pit, I guess.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so I think they heard and they.
But there's such a delay out in that pit, by the way. There's like a 2 or 3 minute delay.
Yeah.
Out in the suite.
I was out there walking out yesterday when the show was over, and
we were still on.
We were still on. I was like, wait a second. Did we not finish?
That's my voice. What's happening here? Yeah, so there's a sizable delay. I'll tell you what, I've mentioned just by pure timing as to how it works out, I usually will get home from work just in time to start watching Jeopardy. It's a good way to kind of calm my brain down, after another long work day. And so I click over last night, Channel 19, but it's all tornado coverage because there were tornadoes that were ripping through some of these little hamlets and towns around Northeast Ohio, like Norwalk and parts of Toledo, and sure, out where we are, we got some rain and things like that. But, these days, social media, the local news can fill their coverage with media that people are sending them. So they're showing photo. Jason Nicholas was the main guy. And our friend Sam Roberts was on their nonstop coverage, too, over there at Channel 19. And they were showing photos that viewers had sent in of golf ball-sized hail. And the amazing thing to me, and I've said this before, that meteorology is far and away the most difficult class I ever took in college. I took it because there was a girl in the class that I wanted to go out with, and I figured it would be a breeze, which shows you how stupid I am because it's a science. It's an earth science. And so when you watch television, just keep in mind that the weather people are the only scientists on local television, right? You can put a beauty queen in front of a teleprompter to read the news every night. But the weather people, and by virtue of the fact that everyone watching is affected by the weather, it's almost to the point of cliche that weather people on television take the brunt of viewer criticism because more and more, there are people who literally believe that the weather is controlled by, some group of people or whatever. But these are the only scientists on your nightly news, are meteorologists. And so the depths to which they'll go into granular detail, not only from their own knowledge of the subject, but also because they have the technology to back it up. They've got Doppler radar and things like that. So under normal circumstances, would I have had an early evening ruined by being deprived of my Jeopardy? Indubitably. But last night, it was fascinating watching. So all kinds of people. I don't know how. I think by midnight, most of the storms had kind of subsided, but we're just watching that coverage because we have people who listen to this show from Sandusky and Norwalk and all these places. And so to watch this happen in real time was wild. As I was leaving last night, I noticed that there were more. You kind of get a sixth sense of when there's a show downtown because there's just more. There's more people downtown and there's more variety in the people that you see walking around, I guess. And so I didn't know what was going on. Obviously, I'm like, okay, something's happening at the Romo Fijo. And sure enough, there was a show last night. And then when you know what the show is, then you can retroactively go, oh, that makes sense with that crowd. It was Bryan Adams.
Oh, Bryan Adams was last night? I didn't even know he was in town.
At the Romo Fijo.
I would have gone to that.
Does the knowledge of that too late cut like a knife?
It does.
That makes sense. It was an Ann Taylor crowd last night.
Yeah, that is the perfect way to describe it. Yeah. But anyway, I got a photo from Matt, who we've all met, I think, over the years, and he's a frequent caller to the show and a very nice guy. He was at the show, and he was kind of up a few rows side stage, and he sent me a photo of Joan Jett on stage. She and the band, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, were opening for Bryan Adams. And he had a great photo of her playing, and the Cherry Bomb is up on the Jumbotron, so she must have been playing the classic Runaways track. Great song, Cherry Bomb. And, of course, the legend here on this show is when our own Erica Lauren used to be on the show. If you Google, I told Rob this earlier this morning, I said, if you Google Joan Jett Monster Camel Toe, you'll get a photo of her from years ago backstage.
I didn't think you even have to put Monster in there.
No, but I say that because that's what comes up, and I think that's so funny. Just Google Joan Jett Camel Toe, and it will be our own Erica Lauren and Joan Jett. When she met her backstage years ago, Joan Jett in her very tight red leather pants. But here's something else, and boy, I wish I had audio of this because it's so appreciated. But Joan Jett on stage last night did a big, long thing. I mentioned yesterday that they announced the class of 2023, not the class, but the nominees for induction into the National Radio Hall of Fame. And one of them, and I know a lot of those people that are in there, and they're very accomplished. Kid Leo, who was here at WMMS doing, I think, this day part. I think he did the afternoon shift for many years. Only radio station that he ever worked at was a Buzzard, and he was revered as part of the heyday of this radio station. He is up for nomination. Joan Jett mentioned last night during her set that her success was due to WMMS and Kid Leo, because she said nobody cared about Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Nobody wanted to talk to her. Nobody think her could do anything. And then WMMS started playing Joan Jett, and then everybody started paying attention. So she attributed her and her band's success after breaking away from the Runaways to this radio station. And I'm pretty sure she mentioned Kid Leo, too. So I guess it's good timing. I don't know if she was even aware. And again, I've never met the man, but for those of us who have a lot of radio station call letters on our resume, it's pretty wild to just have one, to have that kind of tenure at one radio station and to have been so influential at that time. So I wish that I would have heard that, but it's a great thing to hear, that she credits this radio station with that back in the day. Because where would we be? So, a very roundabout way of saying that we have Kid Leo to thank for Joan Jett's monster camel toe. Because, sure, she'd still be wearing those tight pants. It's just that we never would have known about it because she wouldn't be famous, because she wouldn't have been championed by WMMS. So whether or not Kid Leo gets into the rock or the Radio Hall of Fame, rather, I can't imagine that he won't. For that alone, he should be recognized. I've got to take a break here. If you want to send a text in to get everything rolling, 35192. You can watch live. Today's going to be a great day if you are a viewer of the live stream, because we're going to have a camera pointed out here at the window later on for this Taylor Swift costume contest. And then again, somebody is going to leave this afternoon from downtown with a pair for that show in Pittsburgh tomorrow night. So we'll get all that rolling later on. I will still have another